I'm honored and privileged today to have with me a very special person who would actually talk about finding strength in this pandemic straight from New York. We have with us Imogene. She's been in the US for quite a time. And I just would like to ask you at the start, how is it staying or living in New York?
Hi everyone. It's a chance for me to look decent at this time, but thanks for this opportunity, Hill. Well, how is it living here now in New York in this pandemic? I felt an accentuated sense of hyper individualism, especially that we all know that there's a limited interaction. And every time I step out of my building, there's a certain change. So something that I have not seen before.
As I
Because as
understand,
we,
I know. As I understand, it's the city that never sleeps, right? So how is it
yes,
now? Like, I do know, I believe that your experience from the corporate world, having a graduate of Asian Institute of Tourism at our one of the prestigious universities in the Philippines, which is UP, then you had the chance to be a professional makeup artist. Um, Before we go into this challenging season, can you just briefly tell us how is it living independently in New York?
well, I came here in my 20s, and I've been living here for, I guess, 2 decades independently. And it's there's a lot of challenges, but New York is as a place, as a city, is very welcoming and it's very embracing of all nationalities and ethnicities. And I felt really welcomed here, and I felt I belong here. So I believe that there's no reason why it is called. I believe that it is called the financial capital of the world because this is where all people come here for economic reasons because there's a lot of opportunities here in New York. So me coming to New York, I found a niche in makeup. That's why I went back to school as a makeup artist. So um, you need to be strong with your values, or you need to have some kind of like stability and foundation, especially that you can be pulled in all different directions here. And if you're not, strong in that foundation, you could easily crash. So, but if you come here to New York, you're always going to say, "I love New York."
So
So
you're really loving the feel, you're loving the energy, you're loving the people and the connection in New York, right?
yeah, I do. I really do. And I just feel I don't know, I like the lifestyle and it fits for me. And again, I think it's not for everybody, but it allows me to become who I am now. And I like that kind of version, although there's a lot of challenges along the way. But um, again, there's so many facilities or things that are available here for free. If you really want to fix that or handle
So
that.
if I ask you, what is your typical day or your normal day staying in New York?
Typical day, coffee at first, in the morning. But before that, I usually read scriptures. I mean, that's really one thing that I've learned to do now. And and of course, coffee and of course my aloe vera, aloe vera drink. I always believe in taking care of your health, and
Mhm,
wellness is very important.
mhm.
So I'm an advocate of that. So and also, looking at my things to do, of course. But well, this time, this pandemic season, if you're asking about that, um, technology has now been our best friend. We are run by technology at this time.
So way of
Uh,
saying, yes, no. Way of saying if the technology has been our life now, how was it when you celebrated your birthday this month?
there you go. My birthday was an experience of a lifetime. It's quite historical. Well, I found it to be so much fun, and I really appreciate the fact that friends made an effort to do all these things for you, and I guess it can be done. So during these times, we just need to wear a different hat, a different lens to make do of what we have, and still, thrive and live through it, and have fun. So that's what happened.
When you when you got confronted with this pandemic, um, shall I say what were the confrontations that you have encountered in your life as a
Confront-
as a shall I say self-reliant, as an independent woman, career woman, um, staying in New York?
um, well, for me, like confrontations, like before I get up and I dress up and then leave, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and then leave the house. And then right now, because of this pandemic, I have to do everything. I've been domesticated, no? So, so doing your laundry, which I have not really like done for for a long time, and shopping, food that I have never done so in a long time, and uh, limited interaction, limited way of, because we walk a lot here, we take subways a lot, so time we cannot do it. But you know what? I just said that we just have to embrace this change, because it is a way how to protect myself and other people, and of course knowing that New York is the epicenter, so I'm glad that people here are quite resilient, and they obey. That's why our numbers went down. It's actually our group efforts. So extra careful, extra careful.
Mhm. So being extra careful, that's your way of holding up or coping up with this pandemic.
Definitely, yes.
Mm-hmm.
By following directions, and
Mm-hmm.
also by abiding by the law, and of course protecting yourself. More importantly, staying healthy. I take my immune boosting supplements, religiously. And of course, the most important thing for me is reaching out to friends, and of
Mm-hmm.
course, reaching out to God, because there's no other way. I'd say, yeah,
So if I ask you, like what it like, I think this is now what are we're nearing 3 months already, right? Of
yeah.
the pandemic.
Mhm.
Looking back, what do you think are the learnings, the lessons, or shall I say, character that may have been built in you or may have been developed, experiencing this challenging season?
I would say
Mm-hmm.
gratefulness that I am here, that I am healthy, and not only that, even if I have some challenges, being grateful actually gives you some sense of contentment. Because when you have a sense of contentment, little things do not bother you anymore, and you appreciate life as it is,
Mm-hmm.
because You know, in reality, we should remind ourselves that we live life, we grow because of changes, because of constant changes. So we just don't realize that, and and we and if we embrace the change, we will not fall victim to the situation. Instead of holding on to what used to be, uh, why not, let the flow run its course naturally, because there's always good that would come out of the bad. I mean, that's God's specialization. And of course, also this is a time for me to have realized that all of us are created to serve ourselves and other people. And uh, we are not here for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just glad to be able to realize things like that, and after all, in this lifetime, what is it there to make us feel fulfilled? But to feel some kind of, for me, like significance and contribution
Mm-hmm.
to to the world around you. That's why you are where you are now, because of that.
So,
So um, yeah, and patience, because we always are in a hurry, always in a hurry, like especially here in New York,
I
like
understand. You're right.
yeah.
How the people
So
would like, compete. What do you call that? I mean, I think the normal thing there is actually like running around,
yes.
having what 2 or 3 or 5 meetings in a day. So in that way, if I imagine if I ask you, what is now the new normal for you, no, in terms of connecting, in terms of maximizing your existence, how's your career, what is the new normal now for you?
I mean, I think just like anybody else now, everything is done through Zoom, just like what we're doing now,
All right.
and uh, that's why I said earlier that technology has now become our best friend, and I am no different from others. So Zoom meetings here and there, and I just really thank God that prior to having this pandemic, I've already had this home-based business, and I think it was some kind of a preparation for me. So that's why when this happened, this made me realize that, hey, you know what? It was a good president. Like I preempted the whole thing. So um, I just feel happy that I'm able to function and be productive, because New Yorkers, they're just so hard to pin them down in a hot home. That's why even the governor said that it is not in my power to bring New Yorkers inside their home, because they always like go and work. But because of the facts that we have, in our death tolls and cases, then that made us, stay inside. So yeah, I mean, like everything now is in the palm of our hands.